Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode.
This is a real episode.
294. There we go. 294. That's the number I was looking for. 294.
Not 0.5.
For the week of January 24th, 2017. I'm Ryan Higgins. Who else is here with me this week?
Brock Sager.
Bryce.
Oh,
Toby.
how's it going, guys?
Good.
Sorry we were gone last week. Sorry I was gone last week.
Yeah, he should be sorry.
No, you weren't.
And like the great dictators of our time,
Yeah, you're not sorry.
I put my foot down and said, no podcast while I'm gone. Toby and Bryce, however, decided to break into the store one night,
Yeah, we don't listen very well.
fake a recording of a podcast. Sorry, guys, I'm gonna spoil it here. Fake a recording of a podcast, but what
I don't
they
know what's
did,
fake about it. I don't know what's fake about it, Ryan.
Yeah.
What they did is, I won't. Who's the cameraman? That's what I want to know. Who took those pictures?
It was Kelly.
Oh, was it really?
It was Kelly.
Well, really?
Maybe.
You're giving me that look, and I don't believe you.
Well, I'm a man of mystery.
Okay.
Keep going with your conspiracy
And a
theories.
mysterious third person took some candid photos of Toby and Bryce trying to attempt to record a podcast.
Oh, we recorded.
Wait. Yeah. Why are you saying that we didn't record?
We recorded.
And after,
I just don't know how to use that stupid PC thing you got there.
And then decided to take those photos and go on my Facebook page and go through all my embarrassing photos of the last.
Thank
20
you,
years.
Leanne.
Only-
Thank you, Leanne.
Only one of us did that. By the way, when she posted like 400 plus photos like of your trip to Disneyland, it's like 400 photos. You were there for
Disney
a week.
World?
Yeah,
the one we just
sorry.
took?
Yeah.
Oh, it was more like 2,000 photos.
So like, if she's
between,
posting
like,
those
the
on
7 days.
Facebook, you gotta cap that. You gotta be like, babe, I love you, but like,
I took all those photos. Or most of them.
there was a lot of you, so that would have been
Well,
tough
I
unless
did
you had
not-
your selfie stick, which I thought were banned.
I did not take a lot of the photos of myself, no, but I love taking. I mean, I don't take great
You
photos.
love
but
taking photos of yourself.
No, I love taking photos of like stuff when we go out.
Let's establish that those photos that Toby pulled were fucking legendary.
Yeah, so Toby decided to go on my account and create a 4-page fumetti comic. If you know what that is, it's a photo comic.
I didn't know I had a name.
Yeah, fumetti. It's an Italian word.
Yeah.
Couldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, me neither.
Of Toby, your word balloon placement does need some help.
Fuck you.
But
fucking
it was
excellent.
a good first job. It was a good first try.
As a letterer, I think he's got a career. I think he's got a future.
Yeah.
I
lettering was
placed
fine.
them very unpurposely in places.
Leanne said it read like you talk.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
No, but it was great. It was great.
That's hilarious.
And so Toby mostly made the comic of their adventures of trying to record a podcast, and me from
What you keep
Disney
saying
World.
trying to?
Yeah, we
Do
actually
we need to like
did.
get your laptop and like find the audio file?
We'll find
Apparently.
the fucking
It's on
file.
there somewhere, but we needed to like close it down and get out of there.
Yeah.
well, they did put out this comic strip, this four page comic strip of my reaction to their insolence.
Well, it wasn't a reaction. There was a disturbance in the forest while you were
Yes.
going down Splash Mountain, and then there was the infamous.
Don't ruin all the jokes. Don't
where
ruin
did
all the
that
jokes.
Three picture come from though?
We were
Yeah,
like
don't ruin the jokes.
We were like 3 hours late for a flight or something like that. Yeah. So if you go on my Twitter, if you go on the Comic Conspiracy Facebook group, you can find this 4-page
Now, be
comic
honest.
strip. It was great. It was awesome.
Those were your reaction when you heard about it.
No,
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
No, when I saw the
first text
pictures-
we got was "fuck you guys." Sure, there was a smiley face
course
after.
there was a joke. Of course
Sure,
there
there
was
was
a
a smiley face after.
No, I don't care if you guys came in and did the thing. You didn't record a podcast. That's
No, we
fine,
did.
but okay.
Well, we recorded an audio file.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay, we'll see.
You know, I think that could be posted. And
But
wouldn't that be a podcast? Like,
I guess, yeah. Well, if you want to see the comic that they made, go on the Facebook group or my Twitter from Tuesday and go through all the tweets of me telling Donald Trump to go fuck himself, and you can find
And then
the
there's a
comic
comic book.
there. And there's a comic book somewhere in there. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So sorry we were off last week, but I'm back, and
everybody else was
Everyone's
available
here?
to record.
Yeah, but
course.
someone just had to put the Iron
for
Throne
Higgins.
down.
of course, well now we have a ton.
But
of stuff to talk
now
about.
that we know that you don't actually mind,
I think it's iron like boot or something, not iron
Fist?
throne.
Iron
fist, maybe.
well, he could throw down the whole fucking throne.
I don't know if he's.
Yes.
I don't know.
Oh, that's true. He's
got
not
the
that. He
bus
has the
bank
fucking
Infinity
crane.
Gauntlet.
But now that we know that you don't actually mind, even though you say no, next time you go out
Oh, of course I mind. No, you guys could do whatever you want on your free time, but not record a podcast of this, not record an episode of this podcast that will go up on the feed. You can record whatever the hell you want.
I do have access to your YouTube page, so we can always put it there.
But if we can find the audio file and post it to the feed, would we get in trouble then?
Yes. So let's talk about December. Let's talk about the great month of December of 2016, in which
the good old days,
in which some comic books were sold. Let's go through this quick. We're going to talk about our top 10 comic books of December 2016. Who wants to start? Take a guess.
We're doing sales numbers?
Just do some sales numbers here.
I love sales numbers.
Going through this quick.
Number 1, Batman.
Batman's in here a couple times, but not number 1.
It's usually number 1. Then it
Dark.
must be...
I know what's number 1. The Wasp comic.
No. Dark. That was January.
Fine. You would say Avengers number 1.
That was also January.
It's got to be Champions number 2.
You said Batman. Hold on. Let's go Batman. Dark Knight 3 Master Race number 7 was the number 3 book at 119,000 copies.
Okay.
Batman 12 and 13.
Wait. I'm sorry. Wait. Is Master Race an ongoing?
It's 9 issues at this point.
I thought this was going to be like a 5 or 6 issue mini.
It comes out it was supposed to be 6.
Maxi series.
All right, it's supposed to be 6. They extended it to 9. There's talk of 12, but 9's
then it's definitely a maxi.
Well, they keep having the highest sales. Why wouldn't they go to 12?
Batman 12 and 13 are the number 4 and 5 spots, right below Dark Knight at 111 and 108,000 copies. So still really good numbers for Batman. And All-Star Batman number 5 is a number 10 book at 87,000. I am blown away that All-Star Batman is selling.
Wait, what? Who's doing all? Who's even
Snyder?
doing all?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a Scott Snyder title. Yeah, that's why I'm surprised it's selling so much lower than Batman.
Well, it's because of Romita Jr., but with the new arc.
Well, Jock's on issue.
It's got to be brand name, not Romita Jr. It's got to be All-Star Batman isn't as familiar with casuals as Batman.
I cut the Suicide Squad numbers because Romita Jr. is doing the next 2 issues when I did the order last week.
I mean, I'm not in the biz, but I have to assume that there's a lot of stores out there that are like, we just don't get All-Star Batman, but we will get Batman. Whether it's Snyder or King. And they don't care. And that's where those numbers come from. That's my guess.
Justice League versus Suicide Squad?
Justice League Suicide Squad number 1, no overship, 179,000 copies. Fantastic numbers for a weekly comic. Yeah, for number 1. Number 2 was 82,000 copies, so that's a dramatic drop.
They had a different amount of variants for that number 1.
No, it's been the same. It's been 3
they had
covers
some
for each.
store ones, didn't they?
Okay, wait.
Did they?
I thought they did.
Number 2.
Maybe they had a couple.
They had a couple store ones, but I don't think they were the ridiculous numbers that Harley needed.
No.
Number 2 came in at what?
80. The number 12 spot at 82,000. So about half. Which is actually pretty surprising that it's that low. So I mean, the store exclusives can only account for a portion of that.
Okay, can we talk very briefly? What the fuck is the premise of this terrible comic? Like the Justice League versus the Suicide Squad? Are you fucking kidding? What is the premise that this would be an equitable fight? I don't want to get into it, but can you give me a quick understanding?
Batman discovers the Suicide Squad exists. Goes and confronts Amanda Waller about it.
World's greatest detective. Okay.
Yeah, goes to confront Amanda Waller about it.
Okay.
And the squad and the JLA kind of get into a superhero battle as these things happen. You're a Marvel fan. You should understand superhero teams fighting each other. But then...
I do, except that, one of these teams has Superman. Oh, and that same team has Wonder Woman. Oh, and that same team has...
They don't really
Batman.
get to...
Batman alone could take down the Suicide Squad.
They don't get to fight very much until it's revealed that an extremely powerful third group, now both teams are fighting this third group.
So they don't even fucking fight?
No, they
do a little bit.
Versus Suicide Squad don't even fight? Hmm? Explain to me, even in comic book world, I get it.
Okay, so I'll tell you exactly what it is.
Superman against the Suicide Squad.
On.
Batman versus Suicide Squad.
Would you like to know who is in the second group, which technically, now, as the series has gone through, is actually the original Suicide Squad? It's Amanda Waller's first group of characters. So the Justice League...
If it's not Dr. Manhattan,
you can help me remember who some of these characters are. It is... Dr. Polaris, who's like their version of Magneto, extremely powerful. Lobo, Johnny,
good Lobo,
yeah, regular Lobo.
Wait, not Teenage Emo Lobo?
No, he's gone.
What happened to him?
He got sent up to.
He got rebirth.
What's his face?
Lara Freeze captured him, and he's in his collection,
and he's gone. Johnny Sorrow, who's an immensely powerful character from the Justice Society. He's got like kind of the mask, like
It's just the flat mask, the gold mask.
yeah, it's I can't remember. Oh, what's his face?
Psychopirate?
He kind of looks like Psycho Pirate, except
Yeah.
he's like in a suit. Immensely powerful, mystical character. Emerald Empress, who is one of the big Legion superheroes villain.
These are all from Amanda Waller's original Suicide Squad?
Basically what
it
happened
sounds like
was-
she totally fucking downgraded in every way.
Because she couldn't control them. That's the plot of the book. She was like, I had this team of these like absolute monsters, and we couldn't control them, so we buried them in a hole. And now here comes Maxwell Lord, who remembers the original world, seemingly to some degree, and takes all these characters and is now controlling them all as a reformed Suicide Squad.
And that's the Suicide Squad that's versus the JLA?
Yes, so the Justice League...
That sounds fucking incredible.
It is. So the Justice League and the
So
Suicide
it's nothing
Squad...
like the current Suicide Squad.
So, and guess what? It came out in 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6
10
issues, 6
issues,
weeks.
No delays, nothing. It wraps up this week.
Yeah, this is the last issue this
Wow.
week. Yeah.
Well, except for
Yeah.
the epilogue issue.
Oh, and the whole plot is that Maxwell Lord and this original Suicide Squad are all trying to go find Eclipso and the Eclipso gem to take over the world. So
This sounds fucking incredible.
It was.
You know what's so incredible about it is that it has nothing to do with the current Suicide Squad.
no, the squad's in it. I mean, they team up with the Justice
Oh,
League.
really? Does Harley hit something with her hammer
Yeah,
and
she
flash
does.
her booty and,
Yeah.
and make a funny joke?
She does. That's Oscar-nominated Suicide Squad. Thank you very much.
I know.
You have to admit it was a good slip in.
Yeah,
It was a good one.
A great slip in. That's what she said.
Oh, so Justice League Suicide Squad #1. Let's get to the #2 book. It's a big title. It's Marvel's big title. It overshipped a ton of copies.
It wasn't Civil War.
Nope. Civil War is finally done.
IVX.
IVX #1, 167,000 copies. The #2 spot dollar.
And we didn't
number
get
2
to-
unit #3 dollar.
We didn't get to talk about it when it came out. We'd never talked about it.
IVX.
Yeah.
We talked about it a bit. I said
On the
it's.
podcast? I don't think we did.
I said it was a
about the
pretty good
Zero.
comic as long as you're okay with two supervillain teams fighting each other.
Yep, that is what you said offline, but we didn't talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. Civil War 2, #8.
Yeah.
Yes, that is in here.
Yeah.
105,000 copies. The #6 comic.
So we have one.
And that was a
two-
giant pile of shit.
Yeah.
So-
So we have 1 through
Ugh.
8 or 1.
You have 1 through 7. #8. No, you have 1 through 6. 7 and
6.
8. You should be able to guess who these are. No one will guess #9. No one will guess what #9 is.
Star-Lord #2, Grounded.
No, that just
No,
came out.
that just came
Oh,
out.
okay. I was sure.
7 and 8 you'll get. It's normal title that's always on this list.
Spider-Man.
Nope.
Walking Dead.
Actually, Spider-Man's dropping pretty bad. Walking Dead is #11. Out of the first time out of the top 10 in a while.
Saga.
Nope.
Didn't you say Saga had, like,
2 Marvel books.
dropped off?
Oh,
like,
they're 2 Marvel
considerably?
books?
Yeah, Saga's dropped.
I wish it were
You say Star Wars?
Thanos.
I said Star Wars.
I also
it was-
wish it
that
were
was gonna
Old
be my
Man
next.
Logan.
Star Wars 26, 104,000 copies, #7. Star Wars Dr. Aphra, #1, 99,000
That's
copies,
Dang
#8. So the number
Wars,
9,
Stop taking our talent.
If we're never going to guess it, just give a hint.
it's a Marvel comic. It's a #1.
It was overshipped.
It was overshipped.
Fuck.
You guys are such fucking trolls.
It's not, dude. You check in the books. It's a pain in the fucking ass. Was it Gamora? That
No,
was this month.
Gamora is, well, we'll go into Gamora and a few other titles here first. Yeah,
Wait,
Gamora
so-
is there. But
so
not
we'll
top 10.
never guess it. So it couldn't be Gwenpool.
It's Hulk.
the fuck?
The She-Hulk comic, #1, 89,000 copies.
That was December? I thought that was the
Yeah.
first week.
Because it came out with the same week Civil War did. Civil War
So
8.
Oh, I thought that was first week of January.
So
Okay.
here's a couple things here. So if you take these numbers, right, a couple of these books are just crazy because look at the how much these numbers change when you take into Marvel's overships. So Star Wars had a 50% overship. Hulk had a 50% overship.
Jesus, 50%?
Yeah. Meaning, so Star Wars had 100. What did I say? 100 and what?
109?
109 means Star Wars is down.
Shipped 55,000?
No, so 25% of its total was overshipped.
okay,
It had a 50% overship, meaning you take 25% off the top, right?
Okay,
'Cause-
okay,
So if it sold 75,000 and shipped another, or if it shipped 80,000 and shipped another 40 on top of it, so it was like 70,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Not half overship.
Yeah, okay.
Invisible Iron Man number 2, which was the number 13 book, had its orders matched. Hawkeye had 100% overship. Gamora had 100% overship. Avengers 2 matched to number 1. Guardians had 100%. Rocket had 100%. Nova had 100%. Captain Marvel had 100%. Star-Lord had 100%. And Champions 3 was matched to number 2. So these books here, Star-Lord was the number 35 title. Let's see if I can actually... Whoops, sorry.
In units shipped.
In shipped, yeah. So let's go...
What is it in dollar?
Well, that's what I'm going to pull up here. So IVX was the number 2 unit-wise, but number 3 dollar-wise. And at a $6 comic, obviously, that number should be higher, right? If it was even.
Right. Oh, because it's dollars, not units. Got it.
Star Wars, again, the number 7 unit, but the number 10 in the dollar amount, being a $4 comic, again, you would expect it to be much higher, but because they don't count it in the dollar number. So where it starts to get a little crazy is when you get a little bit further down the list here. Hawkeye number 1 was the number 16 comic. It was the number 48 dollar-wise. Because, again, they don't count the dollar amount when they go to these overships. Gamora number 1, 19 on the unit, 38 on the dollar. Avengers number 2, 21 on the unit, 30 on the dollar. Guardians of the Galaxy number 23 on the unit, 64 on the dollar. Right? And these are expensive books, right? So it's ridiculous how low these books are. Something like Black Panther, World of Wakanda, again, that was double shipped. 46 on the unit, 94 on the dollar.
Okay, so it seems to me that they are flooding the market with their books as a loss leader.
Yeah, I mean, Mosaic number 3, 88 on the unit, 176 on the dollar. And if you go down to number 176, it's let's see how far, what numbers those are on. So if you go down to 176 unit-wise, you're talking 11,000 copies, which puts it roughly the same number as Fool Killer number 2 or Power Rangers Pink number 5.
Oh, but that was
Go Power Rangers.
That was an underrated gem, Power Rangers Pink.
So I tell you what, I sell more copies of Power Rangers Pink than I do Mosaic.
Well, your store. Okay, so all right, this is very interesting. So why don't they only have a stat for sales? I mean, what is the fucking point?
Diamond, for whatever reason, and everyone's yelling at them now about this, Diamond, for whatever reason, has decided that they want to put units shipped, they count it when it's overshipped, but it doesn't get counted in the dollar amount. So it makes these charts all screwy.
Yeah.
Normally, the top 10 that's not going to change very much. I mean, everything in the top 10 would be in the top 10, with the exception of Hulk. Justice League Squad number 2 would be in there instead of Hulk.
Is that Justin Lin Hulk?
No, that's Hulk. That's the She-Hulk number 1.
Okay,
right?
so what you're saying is that it doesn't really fucking matter unless you're really going to get into it. Why would they change it?
I mean, they did ship these units, so it makes sense to count them, but they are free to stores. So they just don't count them in the dollar. So that's, I mean, I understand why they do it. Technically, the number 1 comic of the month was Red Sonja number 0, but it was a 25-cent comic. So they don't count that because it's 25 cents.
Okay, so all right, I'm just trying to get my head around this.
Yeah, it's
so
wacky.
when they track dollars shipped, they track it by, they don't count if it was a free book.
Correct. So they only
if Marvel gives you a fucking ass ton of free books and you and Lord knows that your store won't, but if a store gets a bunch of free Marvel books and they sell them, gets them from Marvel for free, 100% overshipped. They order 10, they get 20. They sell all 20.
Yep.
The dollars
This is just diamonds.
for Diamond only counts those first 10. It doesn't count the second 10.
Yeah, it does not store sales. This is diamonds.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's fucking all bullshit. I mean, if these stores are actually selling free books,
But they're
what
not.
the fuck? They're not.
It's possible that some stores are. I can tell you, we are not. Our numbers have.
Spoiler alert of the century: your store isn't selling like extra Marvel books that you get, but like
It's real bad.
no. Genuinely asking, like, all stores are not like your store.
Sure.
Some stores sell Marvel books.
Yeah.
Are these other stores actually selling the free books that they get? And if so, then what the fuck are you complaining about?
I mean, I'm
And
not.
Brock is saying that none of them get sold. Like,
I'm not necessarily complaining about free books. I think it's weird to match issues 2, 3, and 4. It's just wasted paper. It's wasted. We don't get reimbursed in shipping. They are free to us, but
The cost and the shipping of them.
If you had to you might have no idea, and this is about being, an LCS, and I have no idea. If you had to guess, like, how many shops have a POS system, would you say that it's most, or would you say that it's too tough to guess?
The
reason I'm asking is, couldn't this all be cleaned up if, like, all stores had a POS system that they could upload their data to Diamond or whomever?
Yeah, sure. They could,
then
but
they could say,
that's
like,
not Diamond's. Diamond doesn't care what we sell. I mean, no.
Why do they not? It's all about data. Like, they care about the data. They're selling.
Once it's sold, it's sold.
No, once it's sold, they don't care.
No, but they're the holders. They're the keepers of the data. That's why Google's so fucking powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I would love if there was a third-party company that came out and said, here's a private login, give us your sales data on these. But the weird thing about comics is I may only have 2 copies on the shelf. I've sold 2, but I've got 10 in subscriber boxes that won't sell for a week or 2, right? I mean, because
or if you're Toby, you don't sell them for a couple of years, and then I get yelled at.
So it could be a little hard to.
Years.
Yeah, it does. Ask him.
No.
It's hard to get.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
It's
get
hard
yelled
to
at
get
lots.
accurate numbers with.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah, I look at what I
time
have on the shelf because I understand those other copies are sold. It just takes a little while.
So there's no good solution. So we kind of have to deal with what we have.
Yeah. And these numbers, Marvel's overship was crazy in December. It was crazy at the beginning of January, but it's slowed down now. There was a general 10% overship that Marvel's now doing on almost every title.
Right, but when you say things like line wide 100% overship, 100% overship,
yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck? This is a nightmare. But then if these stores are actually selling them, then that's pure profit for the LCS.
Yeah.
Why would they have the right to complain just because your store isn't? And if they're not, then they're fucking idiots in the business development section of their office for like saying, yeah, let's just send them more.
I am not complaining about the fact that they give us these overships. I am complaining about. I do not believe. After dealing with Marvel as long as I have, I do not believe they are doing this to get us to sell more comic books because there's a much smarter way to do it. I don't need overship on Mosaic number 3.
Is your smarter way? Is it just like to write better or something? Or
but no,
like solution?
No, here's what they should do. These overships come post FOC, right?
Right.
So we don't know they're coming.
I've heard about the FOC. Yep.
We order as many as we think we're going to sell.
Exactly.
Now, if they say, hey, look, we think stores may be underordered Mosaic, or we think stores underordered Gwenpool.
Mosaic,
we're going to double people's copies.
That gem.
Fine. Well, right? Who knows? Right. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I could get into Mosaic. Yeah, but keep going.
I'm just saying. Let's say Marvel is,
Keep going. You're doing good.
Yeah. I do not believe that they're doing this to try to sell more copies. This is solely about trying to bump their numbers up in the sales charts. Now,
but
because the way they're going about it makes no sense. Now listen, okay. Mosaic. Let me use Mosaic as my example. Hold on.
I have a better example.
Hold on. Let me use Mosaic as my example. We split orders with Elusive, one of the other stores around here, for Mosaic number 1. So I ordered many copies of Mosaic number 1, right? Because we were trying to split orders.
The variants.
We got the variants. We got the store. Okay. So we ordered like 50 copies, including variants and all this stuff, right?
Yep.
My FOC'd orders for number 2 was 2 copies. Now, I didn't do that because it was a mistake. I did that because we literally sold 2 copies of number 1. So I cut my orders on number 2 from like 10 or whatever I had it at to 2 copies. Marvel then overships me 48 more copies to match my order for number 1. Now, there is no math that makes that make sense.
So the 100% overship is from the previous issue?
Mosaic was one of the ones where they matched to issue number 1. So if we ordered 10 copies of 1 and 5 copies of 2, we would have got 5 extra copies. If we ordered 50 copies of 1 and 2 copies of 2, we got 50. So I don't mind that they want to overship. If you want to overship some number 1s, cool. I'll take the number 1s. I can give out what am I going to do with 48 copies of Mosaic and number 2? Because they didn't overship number 1, right? Mm. I don't care.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
So
that seems like a big fucking deal.
It's weird, right?
Okay.
They're overshipping.
But they sent you 40-something odd extra copies of number 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the thing that makes no sense. And
that
that's
makes no sense.
Correct. And so what they decided to do is line wide. If you order 1 to 10 copies, they ship you one extra copy. If you order 11 to 20, you get 2. 21 to 30, you get 3. So what's happened in this past week is I suddenly have 1 to 3 more copies of every Marvel comic that I order.
So when I was going through FOC on Monday of last week, and it said in the system that we had 11 copies of this book, I'm like, why would he order 11 copies? That's such a random number. And then I was like, oh, it was because they overshipped us 1 copy.
I ordered 10, but I got 1 extra.
So it's like, we would either keep it at the number because of the amount we sold, or I would cut it because it was already dwindling, knowing that they're going to overship us an extra copy.
We don't know that they're going to overship us,
but
so we end up having extra stock that we don't need, extra shipping charges that we don't need. Again, if Marvel came and said, "Hey, look,
wait, they charge you for the shipping on 48 issues of number 2
and will not refund us." What Diamond
what the fuck?
What Diamond said was, if a box is mostly overships, Diamond will credit us, not Marvel. Diamond. And I said, well, there's no way to tell. Boxes are random on what you get. There's no way one box will be mostly overshipped. So again, if they want to overship us Thanos number 1, if they want to overship us Thanos number 1 or the first issue of the story,
here's a prime example of something that should have been overshipped: the clone conspiracy. Remember, there was that big, huge thing on Twitter where Dan Slott says people aren't ordering this, they're not doing this.
Yeah,
and the FOCs
that was before they started the overship.
I know, but that book is a prime example of. Number 1, it seemed like there were low orders. We'll overship on the number 1.
Yeah.
Right? That is a good example of using the overship. Number 2 of Mosaic, there is 2 diamond boxes in the back that are just books that are just sitting. They will not sell.
Well, it is cold. It's good for a cozy night by the fire.
It's free comic day stuff, yeah. So, I am not necessarily complaining about the fact that they're doing this overship. I think it is just a poorly implemented program, and I wish there was a better way to do it. It's used to bump their numbers in the sales charts.
But it doesn't.
But it does.
No, it does. Hulk number 1 should never have been in the top 10.
It would have been 11, but...
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's fucking...
It's weird.
The most lame... Okay.
Anyway...
So, dollar amount.
That was...
next week...
That's possibly the most fascinating... talk that we've had on this podcast in January of 2017.
Next week...
And January's almost over.
Next week, we're going to have actually Diamond's end-of-year list. So I may have actually missed it. They may have already put it up, but they had their end-of-year for 2016 of all their stuff. So
what was the dollar share this time?
We'll talk about that.
What were the percentages and
Are
stuff?
you going to caveat everything with Marvel won everything but was 100% overshipped?
No, because they didn't overship everything. Where was my numbers? I mean, we're definitely up over it's just down 50% for same month last year, but I don't know.
I'm kind of disappointed in Brock and myself that you said we would never guess it and that we didn't guess Hulk. Because,
Brock
is a big name.
Brock did. That's why I said it, yeah.
While you were looking over there talking about Gwenpool, I looked over at him and said Hulk.
So
it's hard to not look at Gwenpool.
Unit-wise, Marvel was 40.5% of comic shipped. DC was 29.04.
Okay.
Image was 7.7. Dynamite was almost 7%, but again, that's all because of the Red Sonja comic. Mm-hmm. But that's not on the chart, right?
What the fuck? What is this Red Sonja thing?
They did a 25-cent Red Sonja comic.
0.
Oh, these are shipped. I'm sorry. You said shipped.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Dollar, Marvel's 36%. So again, if they had that 40%, their books are higher. They would have had like a 47% over dollar share, but because it's lower, because those don't count in the dollar market.
Yeah.
DC's 29.4%, Image's 8.8%, IDW's 5.4%.
It sounds
Dynamite's like 2%.
This math that you're telling me tells me that DC's better than Marvel.
I'm not saying DC's better than Marvel
because it's not true. Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that so units in the top 300, right? For their total share, Marvel's 42%, DC's 39%. So that's within the top 300. So you can see those numbers get a little bit closer when you discount out the long tail of the comic market.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't actually think that dollars equate to who's better or not. I know I can just see some trolls typing on Twitter or Facebook. I just like saying that when I am ahead or when we are ahead. Yeah, actually, a little bit. But yeah, Marvel's made some questionable decisions for the past several podcasts. So it's been a tough road, and we're battling back. And I don't see the sun rising on the horizon. So it's even tougher.
Yeah, I'm just not sure what they're going to do over the course of the next. Can
we talk about this terrible new thing that they have coming up? Are we done? I'm sorry.
Well, there's which terrible new thing?
Monsters Unleashed.
Did you read it?
Is it out?
Yeah, it came out last week. Yeah.
Can you sign me up for number one?
Sure. Got some down there.
I do not want any crossovers. No.
Would you like the Monsters Unleashed ongoing series that was announced a couple days ago?
As opposed to
the miniseries that's going on right now?
What the Okay, I don't know. Let's take this offline.
Cullen Bunn is writing a Marvel Unleashed ongoing series featuring the spunky new kid that's in this book, because Marvel loves their spunky kids.
You know who else loves spunky kids? The fucking host of this podcast.
Whoa, hey, what?
You do. You love Squirrel Girl, Nova, Darkhawk. Fucking.
I love cool '90s teens, not
Squirrel Girls, not '90s.
Totally '90s. She created in the early '90s.
What?
92, 93?
No, she's a spunky special. She's a spunky teen, like that, bro. Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you. Keep going. Keep defending yourself.
Kid Kaiju leads Aegis, Slizg, Scrag, and Mechara.
What the fuck?
And works with Elsa Bloodstone.
Toby, you speak other languages. What the fuck is he talking about?
Kid Kaiju, Elsa Bloodstone, and a bunch of crappy characters.
By the way, can we talk about how Elsa Bloodstone is fucking awesome?
Yeah, she is.
She fucking like swears all the time.
That was one of the best books that came out of Secret Wars.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. She's like guarding this kid, and she can't stop fucking swearing about this is fucked. This is fucked. Plus, she's English. You would love her, Higgins.
Well, you know who made her the character she is today.
Let me guess. Fucking Grant Morrison.
No, Warren Ellis.
Oh.
There's a Next Wave. That. I hate that book. The book's stupid.
Warren Ellis made her awesome?
Yeah, it's from Next Wave.
How have they not done more with her? She's like... She's a badass chick.
He wrote those 12 issues and then went away.
Yeah, but fucking... I don't see...
No, you don't want to get Monsters Unleashed because they actually make a kaiju reference in it saying they're not kaiju.
How about... Are you interested
By the
in...
way, what is Fabian Nicieza doing? Because he invented Deadpool.
Co-created. I'm sorry. Rob Liefeld will tell you co-created.
If you wouldn't have fucking interrupted me literally mid-sentence, I was going to say with Rob Liefeld. But Rob Liefeld isn't the fucking writer, you bastard. How is he not still working? Is he retired? Do we know?
He still does stuff.
Well, it's not as good as inventing Deadpool. Although what we've done with Deadpool...
Maybe, Bryce, you would like... The third Black Panther ongoing comic that was just announced.
Get the fuck out. There's not a third.
Black Panther and the Crew. Yep.
It is not called...
Is Casper back?
So you
Black
got
Panther
is
and
Casper
the Crew.
back?
Yeah, so
he's back?
Oh, I don't know. So you got...
I care.
You got Toby's...
Then I care.
You got Toby's Asian group in Hulk.
Yeah.
And now Black Panther's Black group in
if
Black
Casper's
Panther
back,
and the Crew.
I'm in.
Well, so the Crew was an old comic.
Oh, really?
Very short-lived series.
Toby's about to start like looking up from his iPad and dropping knowledge.
I throw it in the
Toby's been on his fucking iPad and watching the Lakers game on his phone, and he's about to hear about the Crew, and he's going to drop some knowledge.
It's Phoenix and Timberwolves.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, the Crew was a very short-lived Black Panther spin-off comic that came out back in the early 2000s when that book was running. So the team is Black Panther, Storm, Luke Cage, Misty Knight, and Manifold, whoever the hell that is.
Are you fucking kidding?
I don't know who Manifold is.
He's obviously Caucasian because he's on that team.
I don't. Manifold.
Nobody.
Marvel.
Charlie would have laughed as well as Bra.
Manifold.
Toby's
Marvel.
paying attention to his iPad again. No, I said as well as Bra.
Oh, isn't Manifold?
He was the fucking. He's Gateway's son.
Yeah,
he was in Hickman's Avengers. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Secret Warriors guy. Yeah, I never read Secret Warriors.
I'm not sure. Like, this is so difficult as a Caucasian comic reader. Like, am I supposed to not think anything of it? Like, they put. I guess, like, the Avengers for a long time were just a bunch of white people. So, like, I'm supposed to be not nonplussed when they just stick six, like, black people, which is, by the way, 80% of the black
all of the black characters in the Marvel
universe
Look,
on one team.
Well, they did that with the Ultimates.
I know what you're going to say. You don't have a problem. I also don't have a problem. I'm just saying, like, what?
Well, I have no problem with whatever team they want to have, right? The Crew is a comic that exists prior to this. Totally fine, right? I don't have a problem with the team. I have a problem with a third ongoing Black Panther series.
Well, yes,
where the first one is plummeting in sales. World of Wakanda is DOA. What do they expect?
Is it actually... is Casper leading the team, maybe?
No. I don't. I think he's gone. I don't think he's around anymore. I don't understand the rationale of why they think... I mean, look, I understand it's going to go one story arc. They'll have a trade paperback out for the Black Panther movie. That's why they're doing this.
Right, exactly, yes. It's just... I'm incredulous that this is a good business decision. Like, this is like making the Suicide Squad movie.
They'll sell 70,000 copies of the first issue. It'll drop to 25,000 copies by issue 2. It'll be over by issue 8. The trade will be out by the end of the year. So it'll sell 4,000 copies, and you'll never hear from it again. I mean, that's just the path this is going to take, because that's the path these books take.
There are business people making decisions about, okay, we'll sell this amount. We'll collect it in a trade.
Yeah, that's all.
That trade will sell this amount. We'll have it out a month before, barring no delays. # Marvel. Before the Black Panther movie, the trade will be out just in time for all the LCSs to say, look at the most recent Black Panther stories
that nobody read.
Instead of, oh god, oh man, Black Panther and the Crew, huh? Sounds like a must buy.
Yeah, again,
there will be no digital.
It could have just been a great arc within Black Panther, but to have a third ongoing, I have no faith in the Black Panther franchise because they just don't sell for us.
It's kind of the same thing that happened with like Aquaman and the Others.
Oh, that was a horrible idea. Like when they launched a second Aquaman title, and I'm like, what are you thinking?
Well, dude, it's the exact same with Guardians. When they have the 5th Guardians book ongoing come out, it's like
so ridiculous.
It's like, dude, I will tug on Marvel's dick like all podcast, every podcast, but when you have a 5th Guardians book,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Come on, and like, I'm surprised that Captain Marvel doesn't have more comics coming out.
Man, they are struggling to make Captain Marvel a thing, and it's not going to happen. Nobody cares. Right? Nobody cares.
I'll meet you halfway on that. I disagree that it'll never happen and that nobody cares. But I do agree that they are trying way harder. It's exactly more accurately, to your point earlier, like the Inhumans.
Yeah.
Like they are trying so much harder with the Inhumans, and it's like they're not even doing a movie for the Inhumans. Yeah, they've relegated it to a TV show for now, and so it's like
that's going to open up in IMAX though.
Yeah, but it's not going to make them fucking like 1% of the money that like a successful movie would have made them.
This is the thing: is you want Captain Marvel to work, don't force it, but also try and get somebody in there that's going to bring people to the book, right? Like get Jeff Lemire to write it, get Jason Aaron to write it, get
Wait,
Bendis,
what the fuck?
Somebody
what are you
to
talking
write
about?
It. Who's writing Captain Marvel right now?
Oh, I thought you were talking about like Inhumans. You're talking about how it's like Inhumans in that capacity.
No, what it is they're trying to get Captain Marvel off the ground.
Yeah, because.
Right?
Jeff Lemire and Charles Soule are doing other properties that they're engaged with, which is Inhumans and Daredevil.
But the thing is Soule couldn't. They tried to do it with Inhumans, but Soule's Inhumans didn't take off like they thought it would.
No.
Okay. By the way, Uncanny Inhumans is a fine book. I'm not going to say it's a great book. I would say that I will argue that it's a good book, and that it's enjoyable.
Well. Bryce, I got a question for you, because you obviously buy a lot of these Marvel comics.
1 or 2.
Starting in April.
All of them.
Many.
Starting in April, we have a number of new titles coming up.
Oh, dear.
We have X-Men Blue.
I hate how you spring these questions on me.
We have X-Men Gold.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll buy both.
We have
not excited about either.
We have Weapon X.
What is... Keep going. I'm sorry.
Weapon X is all the so it's Sabretooth and X-23 and Old Man Logan and Deadpool. It's all the Weapon X people, all right?
That makes sense actually. If I were going to do a Weapon X book, it would probably be Weapon X people.
Yeah, no, yeah. I'm hoping it's good. I mean, there's obviously popular characters.
Hey,
we have
Wolverine, Deadpool, and Sabretooth.
We have the Royals, which is the ongoing royal family book from.
The Inhumans.
Yeah.
Sounds incredible. can't see how that's lasting more than 12 issues.
Okay. So these books are all $3.99. They are also all double shipping. Marvel
Wow.
is dipping into the double shipping again, at least
With
to launch.
no digital code.
There's a digital
God
code.
damn it! You said that twice already. Like,
There's a digital code within the comic, but it is. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. The X-Men Blue and Gold are actually $5 for the first issue.
for number one,
number
that sounds
one, yeah,
surprising.
yeah, yeah.
That's number one.
Yeah,
Style.
40 pages, so a little more.
40 pages?
Yeah, well,
That's
the
pretty good.
normal are 32, so these are 40.
I'll take 40 pages.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, no digital code, but not for the comic that you're purchasing. Are you X-Men fan enough to double ship at $4 a pop?
Have you known me to be financially responsible within your store, Higgins?
When it comes to X-Men books.
I guess is no. I bought all the fucking garbage lenticular covers of that DC 3D bullshit. Like,
Now, Bryce, I want your reply audible on air. So I'm going to come over here because I want to show you what's the greatest variant cover ever for X-Men. For X-Men Blue #1, I want to know. I want you to tell me how many copies. Unless you already saw this on Twitter, but I want you to tell me how many copies you want. How many copies of this? How many copies of this cover do you want on Twitter?
that's not really. There's no way that's a real cover.
That is
What is it?
That is a real cover for X-Men Blue #1.
No. Was it drawn by who's that fucking Scottish dude that I hate?
Scottish dude?
Superior.
Frank Whiteley? What?
No,
Was it drawn by Cy Spurrier? No, I don't think so. So there's an amazing
That's ugly.
Disney XD X-Men Blue #1 variant cover. Now, Toby, I want your opinion on the next cover I'm about to show you. That's real bad, huh? That's horrible. Okay, now let me.
That's a variant cover.
That's a variant
We're
cover.
all hovering like next to Ryan right now.
Now let me
It's
show
kinda cute.
you the real cover, and I need to get Toby because I don't think he saw this. Toby, have you seen Scarlet Spider-Man's
I
costume?
seen it like months ago, bitch.
Have you seen this? Like you saw the Greg Land cover? You see
what?
this? With his giant hands.
Those fingers.
Why does
For something when he's wearing a hoodie and lurking in the dark.
So go sit down.
That's not so bad.
Go sit down at your microphone.
Wait, what? I think there's a one for the gold. Is there?
I like to hang out with you closely.
That one's awesome.
Which one?
Just Mark Bagley cover?
Yeah, I've grown to not like Mark Bagley, but that's cool. Other than that fucking terrible smile. That
No, the hood's
It's like an
awful.
Assassin's Creed Spider-Man.
Here's your X-Men. X-Men Gold has a regular cover.
Hashtag not my hood.
X-Men Blue also has the covers are all Art Adams. Yeah, so we have Art Adams is doing the covers
Yeah,
for
I
the
hate
X-Men
him.
Blue. Do you really?
Nowadays, yeah, I used to fucking love him. But
Did you used to have the
Fine.
Did you
he's
used to
been
have,
terrible for the past half decade.
Did you used to have the Mutants
I like
Art
Art
Adams
Adams.
poster?
I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome.
I had.
But yes, Toby, I'm sorry about your Scarlet Spider.
He should have never came back.
The costume
Not
looks,
looking like that.
the costume's terrible.
Just bring it back to 90s.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what the heck they're doing. How do you get this like awesome Simon Bianchi cover for Royals and then oh wow, okay, I did not realize that John Boy Myers is doing the Royals, who is the artist that was on Teen Titans, but he left after the first issue. Yeah, that is not an art style that's going to fit this comic very well. I liked him on Teen Titans. I thought he was a good art style, but very, very Joe Mad manga influenced.
Wait, why won't that work? That's fucking awesome.
John Boy Myers is a great artist, but
His name is. Wait, I'm sorry.
John Boy.
I don't know him.
John Boy. I'm just not a fan of that. Inhumans is not a book that I think that would work with, because look at the Simon Bianchi cover. This is what I want Inhumans to look like right here. Like, look, that's awesome. That cover. This is the worst podcast ever. We're telling people to look at covers that they can't see. But if you go on Newsarama, go look at their solicitations. You can get these.
Way cooler, but there's no way that
Yeah.
they can replicate that for a year of issues.
Yeah. Anyway, so
They could if they got artists that were similar.
I mean, like, what fucking Amazing Spider-Man right now has Alex Ross covers every month, but it's definitely not Alex Ross art inside.
Yeah, no,
so that
no.
Bianchi cover, whatever, I'll take it, and I'll take John Boy's inside.
Yeah.
I'll take John Boy's insides. Wow.
also a couple more new Marvel comics for Free Comic Day. That is where the all-new Guardians of the Galaxy is going to launch, because they're relaunching Guardians again. And
you know.
What volume are we on now?
God, who even knows? And the Defenders, which is the team, the Netflix team, is getting their own comic book. So those are officially announced to be the Free Comic Day books from Marvel.
Can't be surprised by that.
No. The Guardians won, man, Jerry Dugan, good luck. if Bendis can't sell it, I don't know what the hell you're going to do. But
that has nothing to do with it. What people are so tired with Bendis. What do you mean if Bendis can't sell it? Bendis has been like fucking hawking that shit for so long. Like Bendis selling it, that has nothing to do with it.
Bendis Bendis sells books. I mean,
no, not when they have 5 books coming out. What they need is Jerry Dugan to come out with like 1 or 2 Guardians books, as opposed to 5. Star-Lord does not deserve his own title.
Yeah, no. All these other books are still going to continue. Star-Lord will get 8 issues. Gamora will run 6 or 8. Rocket will end again.
Wait. So when you say that they're rebooting him, they're just rebooting only the main title?
Yeah, it's going to be all new Guardians of the Galaxy.
But they're keeping Star-Lord, and they're keeping our Groot and Rocket Raccoon still 2 separate titles, or no?
Just Groot right now. Or I'm sorry, just Rocket right now.
Say,
sorry, just Rocket.
How's that writing going?
I could write that book. Even if I'm a fucking English, Ryan.
It would still sound like him talking.
Yeah.
And I know that they had a Gamora title. Was it? Oh, it's still going.
The Gamora one's not actually bad. Like, I've enjoyed the Gamora book.
Sold very few copies at number 2.
Yeah, I know.
Real
because
sad.
Brock didn't pre-order. Typical Brock.
Yeah, real tough. I don't know.
Thanos has been great. I was going to talk about Thanos later.
I don't know what they're going to do for more Guardian stuff, but
it is incredible how much they've Inhumans the Guardians, or maybe how they've Guardians the Inhumans. I'm not sure, but we're going to look back on this time in history and be like, I'm not sure if we'll smile or shake our heads. I know that I'll smile and you guys will shake your heads at like the not dawn, but like the presence of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and how it shaped the comics industry.
Yeah,
for better, for worse, and I'll say for mediocre, and you'll say for worse. With like they are going just whole hog on their properties. And, you know, for better, for worse, like, DC doesn't have that problem, right? Like, they're not going to, you know, make more Batman books or more Superman books. I mean, they fucking quintupled the number of Suicide Squad related books that they're doing. But like,
there were times where there was like 7 Batman titles, and like titles that said Batman on, not like Justice League and Outsiders or crap. I mean, titles that literally said Batman on the cover. There used to be a shitload.
Sure,
they've been much
same problem.
Yeah.
I do wonder if we're going to look back on this and just, you know, how we're going to react to the fact that the movies, you know, coming out influence this stuff so crazily.
I don't mind that they influence them, but the books need to be good and stand on their own.
Well, I think that...
But, dude, that's already a logical fallacy. Like, that. Yes, you're right that, like, they need to, but that's not their main priority. Their main priority is getting books out, like, shoehorning in all these extra characters and teams and fucking like instead of an extra slapstick book, which would be a godsend, said nobody, they do an extra Guardians book because of the fucking movie franchise. And I use slapstick as a joke example, but like I would love to see a fucking, I don't know, Toby and I would love to see a fucking new Gambit solo issue, but instead we get another Guardians issue by the equivalent author. And you know what I also have to say is that the fucking Star Wars books, and I said this, was it Blake? I think it was Blake's post on the thread or on the forum. The fucking Star Wars books have been taking over all of our creative talent for the main Marvel universe. The Marvel universe it's already better than the DC universe, but it would be even better if all of the talent in the Star Wars universe would fuck off and give us our writers and our artists back. Disney's like, no, we're going to give our best writers and best artists to the fucking Star Wars universe. Look, Star Wars fans, you had your moment in the sun. Give us back our best writers and artists. Let us make the Marvel universe great again.
Oh, dear God, you just did not.
I want our best artists and writers back doing great stories within the Marvel universe because we need you now. Stop making the Star Wars universe so awesome and selling fucking, what were they, number 6 and 7 or something like that? Stop selling 20% of the top 10 comics of fucking any month and come back to the Marvel universe and make our universe better than it currently is. That is all. Well, it's not actually all. I'm sure that I'll have more to say.
I saw Patrick Zurcher. Zurcher, is that how you say his last name?
I think so.
Yeah.
He had tweeted, I think, last week about he didn't want to come. He didn't want to come back. He dreaded the day he came back to comics and he looked at the wall and he didn't recognize any of the characters. And that's the problem right now with Marvel is people come into the store, they don't recognize a lot of these characters. They don't see the Thor that they know. They don't see the Tony that they know. They don't see the Captain America that they know.
The last couple of years.
And the thing is because you don't have these staples and these brands that bring people in, you don't have, like, who gives two shits if the Unstoppable Wasp is coming out? Who gives two shits if there's a slapstick book? Right? Mosaic, this brand new character that we've barely introduced. Let's have a new series with them.
This is what I've been saying for a year
full
now.
Of shit. Young girls that are getting into comics might care about the Unstoppable Wasp. Maybe there's some gentlemen of other persuasions racially that get into the Mosaic book that are like, this book is fucking dope. Right? Well, and maybe it doesn't appeal to you or Higgins, but maybe it appeals to other demographics. So what the fuck? How is that your argument?
No. Here's what I've been saying for the last year or so for Marvel, right? And this is I think, their problem. There's no excitement for Marvel on the comic books. So the non-traditional readers are not coming in. The traditional readers are not coming in. If your X-Men is good, if your Spider-Man is good, if your Avengers are good, 8% of those people will look at Unstoppable Wasp, will look at Gwenpool, will look at Gamora, and be like, "Hey, cool, I'm going to buy that." That allows these books to continue long term, and allows these books to sell to enough quantity to stick around. That audience, like something like Miss Marvel, which would bring in a lot of non-traditional comic readers. They will find out about it and they will come and buy it. But these books end and stop so quickly that by the time anyone hears about them, the books are already gone. There's no chance that any of these titles last past an arc or two. They are like, there is a Mosaic number 7 solicited, and to me, it's like they're just losing money hand over fist on that title. But Marvel's just too pig-headed to do anything about it. These books would last longer if there were fewer of them, but the main titles sold better. We've talked about this at length, though. I do want to talk about something that will sell amazingly well for us, at least here at the store, because we already put our numbers in on this, because we had to order these in advance. That's the Batman and Flash crossover coming up in April, I believe it is. Batman 21 and 22, Flash 21 and 22. The arc is called The Button. This is the first, there's going to be that Superman crossover where they talk about Mr. Oz, but this is the first real big story arc involving the Watchmen characters. It's going to be a 4-part crossover between the two books. They're actually doing lenticular covers for these guys for the 21 and 22. So if you like your fancy shiny cover, we're going to have tons of those.
And that's just for Batman and Flash?
Just for the 4 issues, yeah. So we'll be getting many, many copies of those. I think there's a lot of excitement, obviously, and DC's done a very good job of building up the hype. We're going to be coming into, just shy of a year of Rebirth by the time these books are out. So this is probably kind of capping off their first, getting to the point of capping off their first year, and that second year build up the actual the big event. So, and it's the normal creative teams. Jason Fabok's doing the covers with Tom King, Joshua Williamson writing the issues. So really looking forward to that. While we were gone, and we all know before I left Marvel, Bryce just ran off to use the bathroom, so hopefully he'll hear this when he comes back. Marvel did cut their digital comics from their books. We talked about that a while ago. Out of nowhere, DC announced that they were raising the price on their monthly shipping titles and adding digital codes, which is crazy. I don't know if this is just in complete response to Marvel or if this is something they had wanted to do and it's just happenstance. I don't actually know. All-Star Batman, which already has extra pages, that's staying at $4.99, which is the price the book has been.
That's good.
But it'll get an additional digital copy included for no extra price.
Are they starting these at the start of a story arc?
Just as far as I know, did they just start? I guess the April shipping titles, I think, because that's the new solicitations.
That's probably the new story arc then.
It'll probably be for some of them.
It would be really awkward if they started, here's part 6.
They're just going to put them in the book. So, Batgirl and Birds of Prey, Batman Beyond, Batwoman, Blue Beetle, Cyborg, Hellblazer, New Superman, Red Hood and the Outlaws, Super Sons, Supergirl, Superwoman, Teen Titans, and Trinity. They'll all be $3.99 monthly, but with that digital code in the back. So if you like those digital codes and you were a fan of that, you may want to pick up these DC books. The digital copies will remain $2.99, so they're going to be, if you only want the actual digital copy will be $2.99.
And you redeem these at DC's.
DC has a very similar site to Marvel.
Yeah, and it's connected to your Comixology.
Yeah,
okay.
So it goes through Comixology and everything. So, I think for some of those books, the readers are already there. It's not going to affect too much. If you're buying Hellblazer, you're buying it. I don't think it's going to really affect. Batwoman, Super Sons, we may see a little shake-up. Some people may drop them. Some people may add them because those are new titles. It'll only have a couple issues out by that point. I'm really looking forward to Super Sons. So I hope that
so that
does well.
It's kind of, I mean, the one thing that's odd for me is that they're doing it not at a launch of like a number one for things.
Well, for those monthly books, it's a way for them to get an extra $1. It doesn't really cost them anything because the digital codes don't really cost them too much. It'll be interesting. It could do nothing, right? It could completely flop. It could cause the books to go down in sales. You're charging $1 more, so they have a little bit of leeway. If they drop a few thousand copies, it's not going to kill the book. But if it drops a ton, or if it goes up, or if there's more value,
or if those redemptions actually, see those codes redeemed.
Now, like the Marvel books, $3.99 for a double shipping book. $8. That's a little bit. I mean, we're already asking $6 a month for these double shipping books, going up to $8, even with the digital code. That's a lot of money, right? I'm not going to lie.
I think it's good that they're doing it on just the monthlies. Like that's a safe starting point.
Yeah, I like I said, I think this is a test. I don't think they'll do it with the biweeklies, at least not yet. But we'll see. I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be really interesting.
Or they could decide to take the books off biweekly and drop them down to back to monthly, and then up the price.
Everything to $3.99.
No, they would. That would lose them money.
Yeah, that would lose them money in the long run. I don't think they would do that. That would lose them units and dollar. So that I mean, that was the plan, right? The plan was they were biweekly because they want to fill in the shipping schedule for those first month or two when they didn't have that many titles, but they sold so well and the reaction was really good to the biweekly shipping schedule that they kept it. Now we got Marvel coming back with the biweekly, and if Marvel can sell 80,000 copies of X-Men biweekly, that's fantastic. I hope they can. The Inhumans ones are a bit tougher, but if they can have a weekly X-Men comic basically shipping 90,000 copies a month, that'd be amazing. I'd love that. I mean, our X-Men numbers are pretty low, right? Our Uncanny X-Men numbers are the lowest they've ever been by a large margin. So I mean, it can only go up.
What is your top X-Men? Is it Uncanny?
Actually, it's Extraordinary's a couple copies higher.
What about All New?
Really?
Yeah. All New is the lowest of the three. But they're all within a handful of copies of each other.
And Old Man Logan's lowest?
No, Old Man Logan's the highest of all those.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Old Man Logan is the best. Uncanny, I think, is better than Extraordinary. Man, I don't know how people suffer through that Sapna arc with that art. Did you guys read that? Woo! No,
Uncanny or Extraordinary?
Extraordinary.
I think I'm like an issue or two back still.
Yeah, at least, if you didn't understand what I was saying. Anyway, Old Man Logan's incredible. Uncanny is fucking great. I'm surprised that Extraordinary is, but, whatever.
Yeah. So, yep, that's all our big stuff. We got a bunch of questions here, so let's get to some of those guys. Toby's giving me a look.
Hey, can we talk about how shockingly decent Uncanny books are in terms of Inhumans and Avengers? Uncanny Avengers and Uncanny Inhumans both being surprisingly decent.
We've talked about that before. I'm
Uncanny Inhumans is very. I'm not gonna jump on its dick, but it is. I thought that it was gonna be a flaming pile of garbage.
Yeah.
It's actually readable. It's not great, but it is good. I give it the rent if not buy. Patented Bryce. I got to come up with a better system. But fucking Uncanny Avengers has been actually good. despite their best efforts to fuck with everything.
I'm still an issue or two back, but it's pretty decent.
And readers can learn that what Higgins already knows, even though I haven't committed to it, I guess, yet, is that I'm about to start catching up on Moon Knight. I've heard from many people that Moon Knight is incredible.
Very good.
Oh yeah, that's the other one.
Jeff Lemire announced today that Moon Knight is ending in issue number 14.
Well, no, they're ending
I think
their
the book's
story. No, he said they're ending their story.
Yeah,
What
he's off the
happens-
title.
What happens with the title after that? He doesn't know.
He's off the title.
Okay,
So the book's ending.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
So that's great to hear. Glad that
You'll have 14 awesome issues of Moon Knight.
glad that I covered this with Higgins beforehand.
They just announced that today, like a couple hours ago, before we started recording.
So I keep hearing like onesie-twosie pieces of news that Moon Knight is incredible, and I picked up the Moon Knight arc when it was by Ellis. So I
I
haven't.
thought that was just okay.
I thought that it was good. I thought that it was very good.
What was it? Ellis, Brian Wood, then Cullen Bunn? It's like just keep going down the ladder there.
Oh, that
Poor
fuck.
Cullen Bunn, man. That guy.
What the fuck? That's a fucking incredible ladder, dude.
One
Any
of the
comic industry
hardest working
would-
guys in comics, and just
No, dude,
not
any
that
fucking
good.
comic company would be so fucking ejaculatory over having that like list of writers.
He did 6 Gun. Right?
Ellis
Are
has
you
a.
kidding me? By the way, Colin Bunn gets fucking shit on for his work on Uncanny X-Men, and I know that I fucking like tugged their dick way too much.
Hold on. Warren Ellis, popular guy, right? Definitely not as popular as he used to be, but popular name. Horrible track record of keeping schedules on books, right? Huge audience, but horrible schedule. Brian Wood, very controversial figure in comics over the last couple of years.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's a lot of people hate that guy.
Wait, what the fuck?
He's done.
I mean, I read one or two comics, so
I won't discuss his.
Can you even can you hint? Can you gesticulate to me with the circle with one hand and the index finger with the other hand? Like what's even going on?
There is a segment of the comic population that believe he has had improper attitude towards women in the past.
Yeah.
And so I don't know the specifics. Obviously, just rumor stuff.
I should
right?
probably go to Reddit to find out the truth. Word is that the best knowledge and news is transferred via Reddit without any troll behavior.
Correct. But a lot of people don't like Brian Wood and Colin Bunn. Like I said,
Wait, I didn't know this about Brian Wood. That's
a lot of
disappointing
people,
to hear.
Don't like him. Yeah. So there's just sort of a natural like kind of cap to I think his audience these days.
And what did you say about Colin Bunn?
I think Colin Bunn's just a hardworking guy, but just
Colin Bunn did 6 Gun, right?
Yeah.
That 6 Gun's great.
He just can't break in.
His fucking Uncanny X-Men is great.
He just can't break into big sales. No, none of his books have been successful. He's never had a home run. He's never had one. He's just not a big writer. I mean, that's just, there's nothing wrong with that. He's just not an A-list guy. And they're putting him on Uncanny X-Men. He's on Uncanny, and they're putting him on the new Uncanny.
You know what?
For all intents and purposes.
For shits and giggles, give him Captain Marvel.
Wouldn't make a difference.
Who knows?
Yeah, I
It'd sell
don't.
the
Did you
same
hear what he just said?
5
He said
copies.
he's never had a home run. You put fucking like Bendis or some crazy ass motherfucker on Captain Marvel to try to like catch lightning in a bottle. That's disappointing to hear about.
Yeah, but Bunn's just never been a big name. Yeah.
Because I have been fucking loving. You know,
Uncanny's been okay.
You know who has been in Uncanny X-Men? Have you heard about the fucking Dark Riders, Apocalypse's crew?
We've had this conversation.
But have you heard about the Nasty Boys?
Yeah. Yes, I know the Nasty Boys.
What are they from?
They're from Uncanny. Aren't they? Is that Mr. Sinister's?
Yes,
guys. Yeah,
I was hoping to catch you without knowing, but
I know that stuff.
you're a Mr. Sinister expert, Mr. Sinister Higgins. So yeah,
Sinister Higgins.
you like that?
Yeah.
So
I do love that evil Ryan Higgins picture.
I was gonna name
pulled
you
up.
Doom Ryan.
That's good.
I can't even imagine how many pictures Sidler must have gone through to find such appropriate pictures.
One he used. I used to use on my blog a long time ago for the shit Ryan says every Tuesday, and I darkened it up. He dug deep.
Yeah, that was a fucking.
I went through your entire history of Facebook. Not only yours, I went through also Leanne's, and I also went through Charlie's. And Charlie's is a problem because all his pictures are very proper. He stands proper. He smiles. I was like, I need a fucked up picture.
Okay.
I was even mad at his wife. I was going to send a note. I need fucked up pictures.
Okay. Anyway, so Colin Button and the Uncanny X-Men. So the dark.
We have questions. We need questions we have to get to.
Go read the Uncanny X-Men. It's
We all know.
been fucking legit.
It's been fine. Mitchell.
It's been.
Hey, Mitch. Finally. Jesus. Fuck.
You fucking cut me off from Uncanny X-Men to go to a Hey Mitch.
Yeah, hey, Mitch. Shut up.
Mitchell asks, do you guys think Deadpool should have gotten some sort of Oscar nomination? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the Oscar-nominated Suicide Squad announcement that I'm going to talk about here in a minute.
So I have a question
Suicide Squad, the Oscar-nominated Suicide Squad? Oh, what a great tone that has to it. I love that.
I have a question.
Yes?
When the Oscar-nominated Suicide Squad doesn't win...
Oh, totally going to go to the thing that's not... It was like something I've never heard of.
By the way, for those
Star
of you,
Trek and Suicide
of you
Squad.
That don't know, for those of you that don't know, this year's Oscar nominations.
Oh, for the fucking largest pile of garbage I've ever seen in my entire life.
So, Suicide Squad was one of 3 nominated for Best
Costume.
Makeup.
Yeah, makeup and costume.
Best Makeup.
Yeah.
Solely for fucking Killer Croc.
Sure.
So, golf clap for you.
It's Killer Croc. It's what's her
El
face from
Diablo.
Star Trek. I can't remember the character's name.
It's Star Trek, Killer Croc, or I'm sorry, Suicide Squad, and...
Random other thing that will be the thing that wins because it's not a genre movie.
You don't think it'll be Star Trek? I think it'll be Star Trek.
No, I think it'll be the other thing that I've never heard of.
The fucking indie bullshit?
Yeah, sure.
Probably. Anyway.
We had a conversation in the Geek Box. I don't know when it'll go up later. Of Justin not thinking that La La Land is an Oscar bait movie, and that is the most Oscar.
Justin didn't think it was an Oscar bait movie.
It is the most Oscar bait of Oscar baits. It's like the most Oscar bait movie that has ever been
Did
made.
you say Oscar bait fast enough? Does it sound like you're masturbating to an Oscar?
No, it sounds like Oscar bait.
God. So if I had known that he was going to take that stance, Toby and I would have broken in last night instead and slapped him in the face. That's the fucking Oscar baitest of Oscar baitest. I can't wait to listen to that shit.
So do we agree that Deadpool should have been nominated for an Oscar?
For
No.
what, Best Picture? Probably.
No. I mean, sure.
No, I mean...
It's better than every movie on there, but no.
Best comedy?
Wait, what was the argument? Should it have been nominated for what? Because I don't think that it should have been nominated for any of the categories.
Yeah, no.
It was a fucking great movie, but in none of the categories is
not
it
an Oscar.
Oscar-worthy.
No.
What was the argument? Did we get told?
No, a lot of people were like, "Yeah, they're going to nominate Deadpool." I'm like, "No, they're not." I don't. In what world do you think they're going to nominate Deadpool for anything?
Well,
So
we
if the
do
Golden
live in
Globes-
Trump's America, so
Currently, the Golden Globes nominate a Best Picture for. They do drama, and then separately they do comedy or musical, and they lump comedy and musical together. So, if it were to win a Golden Globe, it would lose. It would lose. What the fuck? I'm fucking talking. They would give it to La La Land.
Yeah.
It's fucking my argument. But my point
it's the best when you
is,
take his chin away from him.
my fucking point is that if they were to actually grab the balls and separate out comedy from musical, I believe the Deadpool would have had a shot at Best Musical, but by then we're fucking splitting hairs so fine.
Deadpool for best musical?
They're
Best comedy.
Best comedy is what I said in my own head. That we're splitting hairs so fine that they're smaller than Deadpool's tiny hand. You're welcome.
Zach, he actually sent me a big email about the biggest drop-offs from like number ones and on. Zach, I'm going to answer your question. I actually need to do some research into this. I don't want to just give you a bullshit answer here. I'm going to look into it. So I got your email. Don't worry about it.
Thanks for bringing that question up.
He has another question.
Yeah. I got a bunch of questions. Actually, I got a bunch of questions like this, so let's have some fun with this.
Yeah.
Chris asks,
Keep talking.
which comic character would be the most likely to tell Donald Trump to go fuck himself?
All of them.
And the answer is Constantine, and I agree with that. The answer
sure,
is
yeah.
definitely Constantine.
I can
That's
just
good.
see Matt Ryan walking up and saying,
No. There's no. There's a better answer. Constantine fucking voted for Brexit. Fuck that guy.
No, what? No.
You want to know who I want to see?
Are you kidding? You think Constantine wanted to stay with the EU?
Oh,
you
yeah.
fucking twat. Are you fucking joking?
Yeah, no.
You are fucking so
You know,
crazy.
I want to see New 50 Sue go up and say, fuck you, Donald Trump.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it would be Captain America if it wasn't written by the Nazi sympathizer Nick Spencer. So, Yeah, that would be the ultimate person.
I guess I assume that was some sort of joke, but what the fuck? Nazi sympathizer Nick Spencer?
Don't worry about it.
I'm sure it was a joke, but can you elaborate? I don't get it.
Do you go on Twitter except to read my tweets?
No, I mean, have you seen my account?
Have you seen that Nazi that got punched in the face?
No, I have not. My Twitter account?
A Nazi got punched in the face, and people are arguing if a Nazi should be punched in the face. And Nick Spencer was like, "I don't think you should punch Nazis in the face." It's like, you write fucking Captain America. Of course, punch Nazis in the face.
You know
What's wrong with
there
you?
have been where Captain America punching?
Yeah, every issue is
Hitler
about
in the face?
about punching Nazis in the face. You
Okay.
should punch more Nazis in the face. Punch them all.
I only check my own notifications, and I have limited time on the train.
So you know what you need to do? Every time you see something that you think Bryce should know, you have to tag him.
Yeah,
in
I should.
There's not enough time in the day.
Toby, this is for you.
Huh?
This is for you. Well, a lot. People, make your Twitter name something normal. This is for Final Fury.
What do you mean? Mine is normal.
You're fine.
Wow.
He says, "I love Scarlet Spider."
What about mine?
How
Yours
cool!
is excellent.
I love the Scarlet Spider. How cool is that new costume?
What?
Anybody? Is this thing on? That was his question.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That new costume's pretty bad, Toby. I feel so sorry for you.
Fuck you
What do you
both. If Toby doesn't like it, like, you mean the one with the hood that we just saw?
Yeah, it's
I
so
hate
bad.
This fucking, what is wrong with it? Ben Reilly had a hood the whole of the 90s, and it was
Yeah.
fucking 90s-tastic.
Yeah, I want that
It was
hoodie.
90s-licious. It was
Just still around.
90s.
I want that
already said
hoodie
that.
still around with holes and to be
Yeah.
totally worn down. I want
So
that
what the
hoodie.
fuck are you even complaining about?
I don't like
The
this
new
new shit.
costume's real bad.
Wait, what the fuck is the difference really, though? The
lot.
whole, like, aesthetic is the hoodie.
Costume made the fucking character.
No, the
Yes,
aesthetic
it
is
did.
the hoodie.
No.
And he's got a fucking hoodie. They're meeting Ben Reilly meets
Yeah, that's
what's
the problem. That's the problem.
What's the
That's
Gwen
problem.
Poole Spider Girl? Gwen
That's the
Spider
problem.
Spider Gwen. Spider Gwen.
That's the problem.
What the fuck is the problem?
That's
Are
the
you doing the
problem.
pencils for that?
Huh?
Are you doing the pencils for that?
Yes.
So next
incredible.
question.
Yes, let's go to the next question.
Anyway, I like that. I like that costume. I wouldn't say that I love it. I give it a 4 out of 5. Boom. Mic drop.
Let's see.
Not
This is
really,
from
but-
Keith. He says Riverdale is getting some good buzz, and you plan on giving it a shot? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
watch that.
fucking spoiler alert. Higgins gives it a shot. Nobody else.
that
Except for
Thursday?
maybe Brock, because he agrees with Higgins.
Is it Wednesday,
no,
Thursday?
I actually don't give a shit.
Well,
It's-
normally you agree with Higgins.
I mean, it's
9 out of
Archie.
10 times.
It's Archie on CW.
It's Archie doing Twin Peaks. Yes, I'm going to watch this.
Did you see Funko announcing Twin Peaks Pops?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
finally buy Pops now?
No, I don't think they'll. I just don't care.
But he would if they announced an Archie amiibo.
Look at Look, if someone wants to give me an Agent Dale Cooper with the mug or the almost said
Okay.
Amanda Palmer, Jesus,
Boring
or the Laura
question.
Palmer wrapped in plastic.
Boring
Sure,
question.
but-
Next question.
Samurai Godzilla says, "How long do you think Moon Knight will last now that Jeff Lemire is leaving? 0 issues." Who would be a good replacement for him? Cullen, but no way.
You are the fucking worst human being alive. I wonder when your mother was
I would
giving
like to
birth, if your mother was like, what's your dad's name?
Gary.
Probably Brock. It's like, oh God, oh Brock, you fucking asshole! How could you do this to me? I'm giving birth to the most terrible human being alive.
My mom loves me, I think. Who?
Not bloody likely.
I think Jason Aaron could do a decent.
I mean, he's just the answer for everything.
He's such a go-to.
Well, they lost Tom King.
Nah,
dare.
Tom King would have been amazing.
Don't you dare bring that up, either of you bastards. Oh! Can we talk about how... pause on this question. Can we talk about how
what he does to every
Marvel's
question.
Monsters Unleashed is going to be just the worst? But can we talk about how Batman's fucking, like, Monster Men issues were the fucking just, like, hot garbage of
was
the
all right.
winter? I'm so glad that...
The last issue was amazing. It was annoying that it took
Like,
six.
what the
it took-
fuck? I mean, dude,
I like
amazing.
I like the end of it. I like the end of it a lot. But it just took like 5 issues to tell one thing. They could have done it in like 2.
They could have just had a 3-part.
Maybe they could have
crossover instead
just
of a
skipped it and
6.
just had Tom King keep on doing regular Batman.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have done that.
It's a question from Brandon. He says, Justice League action toys are already on clearance at Walmart. Can you get the word out to watch the show so it doesn't end up like Young Justice? Look, we have to have a talk here. Cartoon Network is the worst network that has ever existed in cable history. They show the 1 hour premiere of Justice League Action.
They're worse than Fox News?
They show the 1 hour premiere of Justice League Action, which is 4 15-minute episodes. The second episode is a half an hour, repeating the first episode, the first part of Justice League Action, and the back half of that wasn't even an episode of Justice League Action. It was a Teen Titans Go Powerpuff Girls crossover episode, which was amazing, but it's not Justice League Action. But it was recorded as Justice League Action. The second episode was just... the third episode was just the second part of the Justice League Action thing. We're like a month since this thing premiered, and I don't think there's been a new episode yet. Toby, what is wrong with Cartoon Network?
I don't know. I don't have that channel.
Why can't they just play a show normally? Why can't they just say, we have our episodes, we have 26 episodes, we're going to do 13 and 13,
I heard
one a
a rumor
week.
once that they don't like DC.
Everything they do is from DC. Like, it makes no sense. Justice League Action is doomed because of Cartoon Network's shitty schedule. Mm-hmm. This always happens. Happened to Young Justice. It happened to every show. I didn't like that Batman show, but they dumped it to 3 a.m. Like, it's
Wow,
so
that's
stupid.
brutal.
Yeah.
Well, those Insomniac kids, they're the ones that really needed it.
I don't understand.
All right, you got a couple more?
It's from Cisco. He says, are you disappointed that Jeff Johns isn't handling the major DC arcs like The Button leading up to the Watchmen's return? King and Williamson will kick ass, but I was hoping he would follow up the seeds he planted to Rebirth like The Button, The Three Jokers, and Diana's brother. No, because he's doing the main book. He tweeted that around Christmas. That he's going to be doing some more comics. So I like that other people are, I'm not going to complain about Joshua Williamson or Tom King doing stuff. They're great. So I actually like that other people are getting involved. Jeff Johns and Brian Michael Bendis have done basically nearly every event at Marvel and DC in the last decade.
Yeah, it's so fucking annoying.
How many have they not done? Morrison did Final Crisis, and what's his face?
Meltzer did Identity Crisis.
Meltzer did Identity Crisis.
That was good.
And Jeff King did Convergence, and Johns, I believe, did every single other one. What has been an event book at Marvel since House of M that Bendis hasn't done? There's only been a couple. The Thor one.
I need a fucking...
What's his face did? That does not. That's not
that
an
doesn't
event.
count.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
talking the big crossovers.
Oh,
Yeah.
Siege?
He did Siege.
Yeah, he did do Siege.
Okay.
No, what was the Thor one? Who did that? Why can't I remember?
Why don't you fucking send these questions out beforehand?
I asked this on Twitter and we just got this. Anyway, the vast majority have been done by these two people.
So Brian Michael Bendis's have been, I would say 75% successful. Maybe that's very generous. Jason Aaron has been about 50% successful. Hickman, he's only done the one, right? Secret Wars. Depends on how you feel about him, because I think that it was great.
Well, he did Infinity too. Mm-hmm. I'd say Infinity was a big crossover. It was a big event.
Okay, so that's correct. So, but I still kind of feel like you feel one way about both of them or the other. You liked them both or you didn't like them both. Nobody liked Infinity but didn't like Secret Wars or vice versa.
It's all part of the same.
Right.
Yeah,
so
they're
my point is that, okay.
I had some issues with certain parts of it, but they are well done crossovers.
So fair play that it's two separate events, but I do feel like he's either 100% or 0%.
Yeah, it's part 2 and 3 of his story.
In terms of successful story writing. They gave Nick Spencer a chance with Original Sin.
Yeah, they're not.
What?
That was Jason Aaron.
Original Sin was Jason Aaron? No, They gave Nick Spencer something. What did they give him?
He's doing Secret Empire.
No. They gave him something, as in the fucking past tense.
Well, he did that Avengers.
What was it?
It wasn't that long ago.
It was
with
not.
that stupid little city of.
Oh, Pleasant Hill?
Yeah, but what the heck was that called? Who even cares? But that was
Pleasant Hill.
real bad. That was real
First
bad.
of all, I disagree with real bad, but I thought that they gave him something before that. I could swear that they did.
No, because before that he was just doing Ant-Man and Superior Foes.
I thought that they gave him a chance for something before that. Higgins is looking up right now. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I'm not. Anyway,
Okay. Anyway, so
we got 2 questions left. Let me know. keep going though.
I will literally, as soon as you ask the next question, stop thinking about it. So let me just say before you say that I don't remember, but yeah, Jeff Johns and Bendis have fucking written the vast lion's share. Now, that said, I would say that Marvel's given a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit more to their other writers in terms of Jason Aaron, Nick Spencer, fucking whoever else that we were just talking about that I've already forgotten. Whereas DC, I mean, it's tough because, like, I think that Jeff Johns has a way higher percentage success rate, in my personal opinion, than Bendis's books. Bendis, my whole fucking problem has been that he can write a fucking amazing story, but just doesn't know how to finish them. Yeah. That's been my problem with Bendis since fucking I started to hear.
I prefer his solo, like the single character titles versus his team books, because his team books, they just
I used to like that, but then every title was named Kitty Pryde or Jessica Jones or Luke Cage or. You know, he's got like
the Mighty Avengers,
a handful, and then it's like, other than that, go fuck yourselves, Marvel. Sincerely, Brian Michael Bendis.
All right, second to last question. We go on from Talon. He says, "What's your favorite single issue that you own?"
Bryce Larsen was in. So how old was I? 17 years old. We'll say that's about right. Give or take 1 or 2 years. I was in Austria.
This is not the question I thought you were going to... This is not the answer I thought you were going to give.
I was in Austria. Austria as in the fucking country, as in not America, as in Toby has not even looked up from his iPad. And I went to the fucking hotel that we were staying in. My dad is a salesperson. He got into President's Club. We took the family to Austria. That's where the President's Club was that year. And... they had comic books on the rack, and I got this comic book drawn by Joe Mad, and it had a big fucking picture of Gambit's face on it, and in that comic book was the origin's not the right word, but like the reason, the big reveal that they'd been fucking waiting for
the X-Men 350
decades. Yeah. So thanks for spoiling it, Higgins. So the comic was X-Men 350. Thanks.
What?
No, I'm just trolling you. Which you're used to. So the comic was X-Men 350, and like I had been raised on like this fucking awesome character named Gambit in this awesome like collection called X-Men. In the midst of a fucking amazing run, Joe Mad's run was fucking incredible. And it like explained the history of Gambit, and it fucking blew my mind. What was the exact verbiage of the question? I'm sorry.
What's your favorite single issue you own?
So that's probably it.
How did you not say X-Men #1?
That's more like a trophy favorite. That's favorite just bought by being a fucking adult and working hard and having lots of money and overpaying Scott. Love you, Scott. For
sell me Daredevil #1.
For that shit. Love that shit. It's definitely in my top 3, if not top 5. Or wait, I should say that backwards. Top 5, if not top 3. But that one, X-Men 350, will always carry like this crazy fucking baggage.
Because I thought we were going to have the same answer. I thought you were going to say the books we got from Scott. Because my Avengers #1 is I mean, there are other books that I like more than that, but that is like, I have my little box of... In case of fire, grab this box. So my Avengers.
You say favorite book is are we talking like favorite trophy, or are we talking about most baggage?
Well,
that's my most baggage story. Favorite trophy book, fucking X-Men #1 is easily the fucking answer.
My kind of
my story was fucking way better. So what the fuck?
Yeah, no, I mean like my favorite single issue as far as kind of like
the story.
Not even story, more personal. We've been my New Warriors #1. I mean, I've had the thing since I first got it, and I still have my original copy, and that was one of my
So maybe we need
something that really caused me to become a big comic fan. So, but no, I mean it's my X-Men or my Avengers. I mean,
for me, it's difficult because it's the same series, but there's 3 different issues. It was the Sandman 8 or Sound of Her Wings or 7.
Sure. Yeah, oh yeah.
Sandman 50, and also the prologue issue for Season of Mists, which I think is 20 or 21.
Can't remember what issue.
It has the descriptive pages of all the endless on it. Mm-hmm. So it's difficult because when you think of resonate, which ones resonate, like each one of those resonates very deeply.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to like sentimental value, like Batman and the Outsiders for me, but I don't really have any trophy books. I at one point had a 180 Incredible Hulk, but Jim has it now.
Toby?
Gambit number 1 and Birds of Prey number 8.
You get that Birds of Prey 8. Yep.
From you.
What is Birds of Prey 8? What is that?
It's
the kiss.
Yeah.
What does that mean, the kiss?
First kiss between Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon.
Is that a fucking key?
Yeah. That's a pretty expensive book.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like a $100 book these days.
Yeah.
And I love that book.
You get a run of Birds of Prey, and you're like, 6, 7,
Yep,
9.
6, 7, 9 every time. every time.
I have not actually seen one in years.
Ryan made it happen for me.
The only
Thank
time
you.
I've ever got one in, Toby got it.
Well, you did call me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pathetic. I mean, awesome. That's awesome.
Fuck off.
All right, final questions from Bernard. Let's get that guy out of here. He says, what does the podcast crew feel the odds are that there is now a file on Ryan Higgins due to his numerous POTUS rants? Let's end on this
POTUS rants?
My favorite.
Fuck you, at Donald Trump, I think is just pretty much putting you
That's
on
just
the
my
list.
daily. That's just my daily tweet now. So, odds 100%, 80%, 60%.
Can we get a better fucking final
10%?
question?
No,
The
it's
answer's
funny.
100%. It's not that funny. You obviously have a file on you. That's not funny.
That's not funny.
Is there a comic related question?
No, that's it. I mean, there's a couple of right now. We're done.
What the fuck?
What? Okay, fine. Hold on. Let me go back in.
Nobody
Find
cares
a better
about your
one.
POTUS
I thought it
fucking
was
craziness.
funny. I thought it was great
Ladies
for
and gentlemen,
4 years.
once
of this,
upon a
so.
time, I was getting into Twitter, and Ryan Higgins is a Twitter fucking junkie,
I ruined
and he
it
said
for
to me, "You know what, Bryce? Let me impart some wisdom on you, and that is that Marvel's better. But let me also impart upon you that you should not follow people you like on Twitter because seriously, he said this because like people you like will inevitably have political leanings that drive you crazy. That has subsequently not stopped Higgins from being the most fucking trolly McTrollerson, and I even agree with him on most fucking political aspects, but he's the most fucking annoying Twitter person because he doesn't shut the fuck up. It's like listening to me, but about politics.
I've lost a lot of followers in the last couple days. It's been real bad.
But it's just so annoying. It's like
So you were cleansing?
Yeah. They're cleansing me. Yeah.
It's just so annoying. He just keeps on going, and he just won't stop. And it's like, who's the fucking character? There's like, it's tragic characters are a dime a dozen in comics, but like, who's a comic book character that bites their nose off to spite their face? Like, that's fucking Higgins with his Twitter following. It's just like so annoying, but he keeps on doing it because it's fucking like as funny as him liking Squirrel Girl, and it's like
I said that if
I like a lot of the shit that you say, but fucking so annoying.
I said if I had to store in a different part of the country, there's odds I wouldn't be sending any of this stuff. But I feel pretty secure in the Bay Area. I'm not going to lose too many customers over it. So, and you just gotta. Sometimes you gotta talk out.
No, but regardless of your political innings, it's just fucking annoying to listen to. Whether or not I agree with you.
When the Switch comes out, trust me, it'll be all Switch for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, this is he's like a Twitter feed. It trends. So you just have to stick with it for a little bit, and then it'll skip over to something else.
No, I get what trends means. I'm with you.
All right. Let's wrap up now.
Fucking incredible, Toby.
We have to thank all our good friends, Patreon. Thank you guys for supporting us here.
Thank you.
We're going to have a weird month. So next week, we still have 1 week if you want to back us at Patreon for the February 1. I know we got a couple
going on with this transition between January and February this year. Like, Patreon's awkward. We didn't even get previews this week.
Yeah, it's because it's just a weird week. It's a weird week because a weird month because the month ends on a Tuesday, and so February, because it's just the 28 days, it's a shorter month. So everything's on Tuesday. So there's like kind of only 3 comic shipping weeks in February. So this week or next week is actually the first week of February, even though we get in January. And then Patreon posts when it comes out, so it'll be the day after our episode airs. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's thank our good friend Albert Soy. Thank you, Albert.
Thank you, Albert.
Always. Julian Titus has the Nerds Without Pants podcast at pixelbit.com.
No pants.
Ryan Hess has Preach
We gotta
podcast.
have him on.
SoundCloud.com/Preach Podcast. Thank you, Ryan. Also, Jody Lawson at Canon, the Triad Comics Anthology, TriadComicStudios.com. Go on there and read some comics. Manoa Plays, Sam Che, and Talon Bray. Thank you guys all very, very much for your continued donation. And thank you to everyone that supports us at Patreon.com/ComicConspiracy. ComicConspiracyPodcast.com, Geekbox.net, and iTunes. You can find this episode and all our previous ones. Thanks for all those reviews you leave us. We love them. Toby
We need
was
to
reading
read some of those.
Yeah, Toby was reading a bunch of them the other week.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
They are great.
They are.
I've made a agreement with myself to only read them once a month because sometimes they're just so brutal when you read one that's like, fuck that fucking Bryce guy, he's a fucking douche, and it's like, ugh.
Maybe
I should dig you out some of the Toby hate ones. They're great.
Maybe-
There's full paragraphs ones.
I read them all.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, the point that Higgins is trying to say that we just cut him off ineloquently for is that if you like the podcast and you haven't done a review, it actually legitimately means a lot to us when you go and you leave any star review. If you leave a 1-star review saying, fuck you, Bryce, DC is better, I will just respectfully disagree with you.
It should be a 5-star review that says, fuck you, Bryce, DC.
Well, that's fucking counterintuitive. But if you leave a 5-star review saying Bryce is the best, or any of us are the best, look, those reviews legitimately help us. If you haven't done a review, please go do, because...
Plus, they make us feel warm.
It makes it pop up higher on the iTunes.
Yeah.
search
When you
engine stuff, so.
the more reviews it has, it'll pop up on the.
Anyway, and they're... Okay, more than that, they're fucking hilarious to read, and we really appreciate them, and it makes us feel
we should read them
bad
out loud.
or good.
They're pretty funny.
We should read them out loud and record
Depending,
it.
we should definitely not.
No, do it as a Patreon thing.
If you have a long form, email, thecomicconspiracy@geekbox.net, if you could send us. Talking of Patreon stuff, too, Toby's got a couple episodes of the Roundup in the queue, so we should get at least one of those this week.
Both.
And Bryce, we're going to do our Briefly next episode.
Next week,
we've been
7
delaying
days.
it.
Bryce Briefly, can't wait.
So you get in that January Patreon, and you get or at any time, and you can download all the episodes of Bryce Briefly, where Bryce rants even more than he does in a normal episode.
But I rant briefly.
Digital.comicconspiracy.
I don't think you understand. Or you think that means what it means.
Briefly means long, right?
Comicsconspiracy.biz is where you can buy all your digital comics from us. Conspiratobrock.com, that's his blog and video pull list. Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension, that is Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. Charlie should be back next week. And Etsy.com/shop/Leanne Hill Art. That is my wonderful wife, Leanne. Buy all her new art. She did a bunch of Star Wars pieces recently, the Women of Star Wars, so go get
really
those.
good pieces.
Yeah, Rey and Jin and Leia. Poor Leia. We're all on Twitter, Ryan Higgins Ryan. If you love politics and hate Donald Trump, you should follow that account.
I love Nintendo.
And love Nintendo, yeah. Leanne, the night of the Switch event, Leanne went on Twitter. She's like, 110 tweets in like the hour of the Switch event. It was amazing.
You're the most
What- what's
obnoxious
amazing-
man. You are the most obnoxious man.
I know.
What's
I am.
amazing is while
It's incredible that you're more obnoxious than me. Like, I'm a fucking annoying fucking dude. But you
Just get
are...
on Twitter all day. It's amazing. It's great. I have like 50,000 tweets.
I'm only
I
on
love it.
Twitter on the train.
Yeah.
So you're just fucking...
I that's what I said. Like at 5:30, I get the string of replies from Bryce every day, Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
Never any other time.
Exactly. Well, sometimes I'm a little saucy on the weekends at night, and it's like at midnight on like a Saturday. Fuck you, Higgins.
It is impressive to me, though, that while you're on the phone with me, G-chatting Ryan Scott and Justin Haywold, yet you somehow managed to tweet that you're doing all of that.
Yeah,
All at the same time, while ordering the Nintendo Switch.
during the Switch event, I was on Amazon, Best Buy, Target, and Walmart. I had Toby on the phone. I was on G-chat with Ryan and Justin, and I managed to order 3 Switches get Toby to get his because he got denied one, but we went back and got.
Well,
right?
no, it's actually kind of funny that the one from Best Buy, that order never happened. I got it, and then when I went back, it's like mysteriously disappeared. So the next morning, I got one through Target.
You got to Target, right?
Yeah. But it seriously disappeared.
Yeah.
No confirmation email. Go my order history. It's not there. Nothing. It's like I never ordered it.
I then tried my hardest to immediately fall asleep because I would wake up at like 4 a.m. to fly to Florida. So it was like the craziest night of my life. It was a million. Like
not his wedding.
My brain
but the night of the fucking switch.
Well, not the night his son was born, or the night of his wedding, or the night he lost his virginity.
Oh no,
if that ever happened. But the night that the switch went on pre-order.
It's the biggest night ever.
48 hours of the wedding was pretty insane, but this was like compressed down into like a 2-hour time period. So. What was it saying? Ryan Higgins, Brock Sager, Larsen Bryce, Toby XI, Insanity and Chaos, Comics Con Store. Those are all our Twitter accounts. Geekbox, Comedy Button, Good Job Brand, All Talk Podcast, Manga Monica Nation.
The Facebook group. You should add that in there.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, Facebook.something.
Just look up Comics Conspiracy. It's one of the things.
Yeah, Geekbox and the Comic Conspiracy group.
Like biggest Marvel or DC troll on Facebook, and you'll either hit Higgins or me.
I thought that was just going to be a picture of Sugar Man.
Yeah, so
and you get to see the 4-page comic.
We've had a lot of new people actually join the Facebook group recently, so you should definitely go on that, talk to some really cool people.
Instead of joining the Facebook group, you should join the Patreon, whereas for as little as $1 a month, you can get access to the free stuff that Toby posts there
Bryce.
anyway.
All our bonus content.
You should fucking put that behind a Patreon wall.
What?
He does.
Behind the Patreon.
No, the webcomic stuff.
Oh.
No, well, no, that's
already public, but you can put it up there anyway.
That was too much fun. Yeah. By the way, how fucking funny was that?
Although I do have a reaction video of you.
Maybe.
And I proposed to Bryce that we should do a dramatic reading. I can animate the panels to it.
Yeah, I still think that's a fucking great idea.
Yeah, we should do it.
All right, let's do it.
All right, he said yes for once. That's new.
No, I
Higgins never says that.
I know, I heard
he always
do whatever
grumbles.
you want, huh? Whatever you want. Okay.
No, you'd be involved.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to read it? Oh,
you have to say your lines.
Well, so does Brock and Charlie.
Yeah.
We need Charlie. What is that picture of him? He's on the swing set?
No, he's fucking modeling like this.
He is not.
He is.
Is that when he got his trench coat?
I don't know, but he's like his arm up and he's looking all suave into the camera. His wife must have been taking that picture.
Looking all suave.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we're talking about the same picture.
I think mine was during
have you seen his young pictures?
Launch.
You won't
No.
recognize him.
I do not want to.
You know, you could just end the podcast right now and nobody would fucking know.
Yeah, we're going to end the podcast right now. So thank you
for
guys.
listening.
Sorry for all the
Me and Bryce going to keep recording, and
No,
we
don't you
295.5.
There's been an exorbitant amount of F-bombs during this podcast.
Really?
Oh, hey, way more than normal. That's all right.
But don't you have an NSFW tag?
Yeah, sure. So don't listen to this one around the kids.